What's poppin', Alpha Numericons? It's me, MT, and welcome back to the Heavy Spoiler Show. Y'all know the drill by now. This is going to be a breakdown of Rick and Morty Season 7, Episode 8. The episode were 7-8-69. Ho! You can always count on me to capitalize on any moment to make a terrible dad joke. I'm so sorry. So I'm just going to go ahead and shut the hell up and get right into it. And right away, the episode opens with the return of the planet of Alphabetrium, a planet where the people, continents, and clouds are all shaped like letters of the alphabet. Alphabetrium was introduced in Season 2, Episode 5's Get Swifty episode, along with Rick and Morty's version of Ice-T. An episode that shows Ice-T deciding to uncharacteristically care about the people of Earth after working along Rick, Morty, and the United States government in order to protect the planet by showing the Cromulons what they got. A growth of empathy that explains why the opening shots of Get Swifty's post-credit scene, as well as this new episode, start with an Alphabetrium wide shot with the letters IGAF in frame, which of course famously means I give a fuck, to of course symbolize Ice-T giving a fuck about Earth. However, although Morty keeps trying to reference the events of Get Swifty to Ice-T, the Ice-T of this episode doesn't recall those events whatsoever. But while it seems like Ice-T doesn't remember Morty just because Morty is just some unmemorable teenage loser to this legendary rapper, I don't think that this is the case. The most likely explanation for this, to me, is that this Ice-T is a variant of the Ice-T from Season 2, who was originally from Dimension C-131, the same dimension that the Smith family abandoned for the Parmesan universe after the entity Mr. Frundles assimilated with that old universe. This is why this new episode opens with a slightly different version of the post-credit scene that we got during Season 2's Get Swifty episode, with this new Water T of Season 7's Parmesan universe experiencing different last words from King Magma Q than Dimension C-131's Water T did in Season 2. In this Rise of the Numericons episode, Water T's father gives his son the Eye of Harmony as his last act, while Season 2 Magma Q simply apologizes to Water T for turning him to ice. Season 2's Magma Q is actually called Helium Q in that universe, so the implication seems to be that this new Water T did not experience the big-headed Cromulon invasion in the same way that Rick and Morty did in Dimension C-131. So this Water T has likely never heard Rick and Morty perform Get Swifty at all, and likely learned his lesson of caring some other way. Another big difference between these two scenes is that Magma Q is actually voiced by rapper Ice-T in this new episode, with Dan Harmon reprising his role as Water T once again. But anyways, as the Numericons descend onto Alphabetrium, this calculator-themed spaceship here has the number 58008 at the top, which of course spells the word boobs if you turn the calculator upside down. One of the few sources of joy us junior boob lovers of the world had while learning math in elementary school. Then as the booby ship starts to wreak havoc across the city, you can see a letter K walking a letter D dog, as well as a motherly uppercase M with her lowercase b baby, which I thought was kind of funny. But unfortunately for that baby, B would stand for blown the fuck up, as nobody outside that cafe would survive, which makes sense considering that one of the Numericon generals yells, "Divide and conquer 0 survivors," which would be the first of a vast number of numerical puns that these aliens have in their arsenal. Aliens clearly modeled after the evil Decepticon race from the Transformers animated franchise from the 1980s, as well as the Empire from Star Wars. Even this episode's intro title drop is themed with the font of 1986's Transformers the movie, and even parodies the rock intro music of that movie as well. After Water T crunches some numbers, he hops into Lithium P's spaceship called the Glyph Jumper, which is an alphabet-themed parody of the Autobot Cliff Jumper from Transformers, with Lithium P's name of course being a reference to lithium polymer batteries. Then they both fly directly to Mr. Goldenfold's high school math class, where all these kids are struggling to learn second grade level math apparently. I mean, look at this class decor and chalkboard. 1 + 5 = question mark? Really? Everybody over the age of 7 knows that the answer is 15. Idiots! And yet somehow, Morty still ends up being Mr. Goldenfold's worst student of all time, even more so than Ice-T, who used to wear a Pac-Man shirt in Mr. Goldenfold's class in the 1980s in order to fit in with his very 1980s classmates. But actually, real-life Ice-T graduated Crenshaw High School in 1976 before briefly joining the Army in 1979, so he would not be in high school in the 80s. But anyways, after Water T crashes surprise detention and has Mr. Goldenfold look over the Eye of Harmony that is literally designed after a lowercase I, Sinistar 7 and her number sign themed Type Strikers attack the school, with those Type Strikers also being themed after the TIE Fighters from Star Wars, and even makes similar sounds to those iconic Star Wars ships as well. Also, it seems that Sinistar 7 herself was purposely made a number 7 by the Rick and Morty team in order to show that this character was meant to be Water T's Numericon counterpart, as the number 7 is the letter T in the Leet-speak internet alphabet, the alphabet that frequently uses numbers to mean letters, like how the number 3 can be the letter E, or how the number 5 looks like the letter S. But anyways, in response to Sinistar 7's surprise attack, Morty and Mr. Goldenfold escape on the Glyph Jumper after Lithium P cranks that hyphen drive to enter Helvetica Lightspeed Star Wars style, with Helvetica Lightspeed of course being a reference to the popular font Helvetica Light. This leads Sinistar 7 to report to Lord Dreadnought on her Numericon parody of a Star Destroyer, with the ship itself being a greater than sign to represent how they feel greater than all those other races. As she enters the chamber, you can see 4 and 6 numerical guards wearing cloaked red armor like the Emperor's Royal Guard does in the Star Wars movies, before Lord Dreadnought himself appears in a massive blue hologram, just like Palpatine and Supreme Leader Snoke do in those movies as well. Dreadnought even shoots out lightning at Sinistar 7, much like Palpatine shocks everyone in his life like Darth Vader. Lord Dreadnought is also of course themed after a slashed zero, which has been historically used for centuries in order to differentiate zeros from the letter O, which is a letter that you don't want to be mistaken for if you happen to be an emperor of a society of racist digits. But anyways, when we get another flashback to Water T's earlier days as the human Ice-T, we can see the rapper eating some Cheetos before Mr. Goldenfold helps Ice-T achieve enough flow to record his 1988 hit song Colors. Then we get a Back to the Future parody of Marvin Berry's famous fake phone call to Chuck Berry after Marty McFly shreds at his parents' dance. And later, when we see the bracket shields of Alpha Betrium weaken, all the letters watching the shield levels are scared as hell. All the letters except for this relaxed letter R, who's just smiling there like he just took a big hit of some dank alphabet lettuce. I've been there, man. I've been there. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Water T then informs the secretly evil Oxygen S that the Eye of Harmony has been translated, and when he does, I notice that Oxygen S's staff is looped with an infinity symbol, foreshadowing his ascension into the destructive cosmic being Infinity. Then later, as Sinistar 7 attacks the Glyph Jumper, she yells "Threesus Christ" after Water T shoots back, before both ships crash land on planet E10, which continues the Star Wars parody theme by being a parody of the Ewok moon of Endor from Return of the Jedi. The native squiggly doodles of the region even bow down to the golden Eye of Harmony like the Ewoks worshipped the golden C-3PO, with the funniest doodles of the bunch of course being the cockadoodle doodles shaped like, you know, cocks. They're cock doodles. Sorry. But after the T with the Glock is awoken by the cocks, he finds that Sinistar 7 has stolen the Eye of Harmony, leading Water T, Morty, and Mr. Goldenfold to chase after her. But of course, Mr. Goldenfold does the gentlemanly thing and leaves his car behind with an alien doodle that he might have impregnated the night before, with the words Mr. Goldenfold math teacher at the top of the card and his phone number on the bottom. And then shortly after this, we all get the immense displeasure of having to see the letter T and the number 769 themselves into a cosmic vision of their shared origins before Emperor Dreadnought arrives on the scene with Oxygen S, who was secretly an evil-ass 8 this entire time. An evil-ass 8 who ends up betraying his king to become an all-powerful cosmic being, much like Jafar betrays the Sultan to do the same in the Aladdin movie. They even subtly themed 8 snake patterns off of Jafar's cobra form from that movie as well, which I found to be a very nice touch. But anyways, when Infinity goes and attacks Alpha Betrium, a letter C that looks like cheese calls the event an apostrophe rather than a catastrophe. A catastrophe that Water T of course stops with the power of music, much like Rick and Morty did with Get Swifty in season 2. Well, you know, also with a little help from a cosmic bullet to Infinity's left nut, which we see travel through Infinity's body in a visual similar to when Baby Groot travels through Ego's body to reach his brain in Guardians 2. Then of course, after Infinity is defeated, both Magma T and Sinistar combine their races to form the new hybrid planet Alpha Numericon, a planet that gets visited by rapper Ice Cube, who apparently has secretly been a transforming geometron this entire time, with Ice Cube of course making the iconic transforming noise that all the Transformers make in the animated series. But that's it, gang. Thank you guys so much for watching this breakdown of episode 8 of season 7 of Rick and Morty. You can follow me at Mastertainment on Twitter and Instagram or wherever I am on the internet, but most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to Heavy Spoilers today because we always got some amazing stuff for you guys and you don't want to miss out. Do you want to miss this out? You don't, okay? You don't want to do that. I'm trying to activate your FOMO right now. Is it activated? Good. Hit that subscribe button. Maybe even hit that like button too, if you're feeling generous. Really helps out the channel, man. Just saying. But again, thanks again for watching this video. You guys are amazing, and I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Now, if you excuse me, I want to go 69. You can't 69 by yourself, so that's a lie. Goodbye.